How do I do this? Okay. Can you hear me?
Okay, everyone, happy Friday. This is a Friday. Let's keep it a Friday. Let's not turn it into a Monday afternoon. All right, these are the rules of the 187 District Court. You're in a courtroom. No matter if you're at the jail, at your home, at your office, in a vehicle, you are in a courtroom. You must behave as though you're in a courtroom. To help you out with how you behave in the courtroom, anything you could not do if you were physically in this courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. If you behave inappropriately on the Zoom screen, your Friday afternoon is going to turn into a Monday afternoon because you are going to be required to appear in person in the 187 District Court, which means you're going to have to get an Uber, a Lyft, catch the via. And if you catch the via, you're going to have to scrape up change from somewhere. If you drive your vehicle down here, you're going to find a lot of closed roads, including the one-ways downtown. If you're lucky enough to find parking, you're going to find that parking is extremely expensive. To all the inmates, you are not allowed to use the internet. You are not allowed to use Facebook. If you do any of that, you will be sent back to your cell and we may be able to see you in 60 days. To all the inmates, you are not to use the chat box. If you use the chat box, you're going to get sent back to your cell. To everyone else, if you're at home, you're not to do laundry, you're not to cook food, you're not to lay in bed, you're not to do any of this. If you do any of that, there will be no response needed. I will require you to appear in the 187 District Courtroom. It's located at 300 De La Rosa. Everyone on this Zoom screen, this is not The Bachelor, this is not The Bachelorette. You are not allowed to try to pick up dates while you're on this Zoom screen. I know you may ask yourself, why would I say that? Because people have tried to do that. It is not allowed. I'm going to open up the breakout rooms. When I do, it would ask everyone to go to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, Do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a breakout room. To all those who are accused or on the screen or defendants, your name will not be called. Your attorney's name will be called. Attorneys, this is the order in which you will appear. If you see it, you're at the list and you wish to Zoom to another courtroom, you're more than welcome to do so. However, if you Zoom to another courtroom, when your name is called, you will be placed at the end of the list. Defendants and those who are accused, if you do not hear your attorney's name, it is because they are Zooming in another courtroom. Take a deep breath, put some patience in your pocket. They will be here. Mr. Montoya, that's the inappropriate way to wear a mask. You might as well not be wearing one. Masks should be worn and cover the mouth and the nose if you're wearing them. The reason why they have you wearing them at the Bexar County Jail where you are is because there are other people around you. So when you wear that mask, you're not doing it for your protection necessarily. You're trying to protect those around you. So let's practice selflessness and not selfishness today. All right, these are the attorneys, Ed Piker, Carl Alexander, H. Dave Sanchez, Matthew Allen, Roberto Ambrosino, John Kuntz, Michael Latimer, Robert Maurer, Victoria Cruz, Rodolfo Zepeda. Is there any defense attorney whose name has not been called?
Did you call me, Judge? I wasn't sure if you did.
No, I did not. Orlando Castano.
And also, with the breakout room, I just need to speak with my client. We've already conferred with the state. I just need to talk to him in regards to the offer.
All right, just 1 second. And then Ron Ross.
Yes.
All right, any other attorney whose name has not been called?
Judge, this is Andrew Freilich. I have an off-docket matter.
Okay, Andrew Froelich. All right, attorneys, I'm going to assign you to breakout rooms. When I assign you to the breakout rooms, think of those breakout rooms as when you go to the doctor's office. They're just checking your weight and your blood pressure. You need to be patient when you go to those rooms. It would help me and make it easier if you added to your screen name the name of your client and whether or not it's criminal trial division or family violence. However, if you are unable to do that, I will do that for you. So everyone, put some patience in your pocket. There is more defense attorneys than there are prosecutors on this screen, but they have the ability to move throughout the breakout rooms, and they will make their way to you. Ed Piker, who do you have?
Judge, I have Jennifer Sutter. Probably need to talk to probation first since it's an MTR.
Criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial.
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Carl Alexander.
Afternoon, Judge. How are you?
Good afternoon. You almost made an A. What is is it criminal trial division or family violence?
DTD, Judge.
All right, I'll send you to number 4. H. Dave Sanchez, thank you for changing the name. I'll send you to number 5. Matthew Allen, I'll be back with you in 1 moment. Roberto Ambrosino.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here.
Thank you for changing your name. You almost got an A. You didn't put your client's first name, but I think we know who it is.
Oh, I think I ran out of room. Yeah.
Okay, I'll send you to number 6.
Thank you.
John Kuntz.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to number 7.
Thank you.
Michael Latimer.
Yes, I'm President Leo Hernandez, the Criminal Trial Division, and I haven't changed my name. If you want me to, I could.
That's okay. Maybe next time.
Okay,
All right. I'll send you to number 8.
thank you.
Robert Maurer, I'll send you to number 9. Although you didn't say whether it was criminal trial division or family violence.
I think I ran out of room. They're both
Okay.
family violence. There's 2 of them.
So they're both family violence.
Yes.
I'll send you to number 9.
Yes, ma'am.
Victoria Cruz. Thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to number 10.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Rodolfo Sabeda.
Yes, Your Honor. The client's name is Brian Seeley, and it's Criminal Trial Division. I don't know if he's on Zoom because he just called me. He's trying to get on.
All right. I'll send you to number 11. Orlando Castagnone, I'll send you to number 12.
Thank you, Judge. If you could put my client in there as well.
All right, Mr. Montoya, if you go to 12, please. Ron Ross.
Judge, I'm here for Greg Morrison. I got a notice to come in here to talk about, I guess, a discovery update. I wasn't on the docket, at least I didn't have it on my docket yesterday, and I couldn't make it. I didn't get the notice in time, but I'm here today. Discovery is pretty much complete, and I need to talk to Tom about that.
All right, I will send you, let me rename you.
It's just going to be very briefly. I think I just need 2 things from Tom.
All right, I'm going to send you to Lucky Breakout Room number 13.
Okay.
And Tom will meet you there.
Yes, ma'am.
Andrew Froelich.
Yeah, just, I don't actually need a breakout room. I just, when my client has a warrant for missing court the other day, I wanted to see if I could approach the court about that.
All right, just one moment. Bobby Gibbia.
Good afternoon, Judge. We have a PSI with Mr. James Brewer. He is present in the courtroom.
All right, do you have the, this is the one where we're waiting for the drug test, correct?
And proof of employment as well as some medical documentation. I'm sending you the proof of employment right now.
The clerks have given me documents. I believe this is from you. And I'll send you to breakout room number 14 to speak with, I guess, with the probation officer about your client's drug tests.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Sure. And if probation could go to number 14, please. All right, Bobby, before you go to number 14, Ms. Reyes is actually in number 3. Let me move to 3. All right. First things, Norma, let's take care of Mr. McBride. That's an issue about placement.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. McBride. So mental health court, they're saying they're not accepting you because of substance issue. So Mr. McBride, can you unmute for me?
Yes.
All right, Mr. McBride, when's the last time you used a controlled substance, any type of drugs?
August 28th of last year.
All right, and what drug was that?
Alcohol.
I mean, you've used more than alcohol, Mr. McBride, because the issue is not an alcohol issue.
It's alcohol. All I do is drink myself.
What, and you're drinking in excess?
Yes.
Or to excess?
A liter a day.
All right. Then we need to find a placement for you, Mr.
Can I go to ISF?
Oh, look at you. I like the way you're trying to be a part of your program. I appreciate that. Yes, we can see about sending you to ISF. Let me see how long you're on for probation. The thing is,
2 years.
Your case to a misdemeanor. Here's the question, though. Do you have anyone that you can live with or no?
Currently, no, but my mother did say if I could successfully complete a program successfully, that she will let me back home.
Okay, because I believe that you have no contact orders in place. And Mary,
No.
is this the case where someone wanted another no contact order?
I believe so, but I'd need to look at that again.
Okay, we're going to check, Mr. McBride, because there may be someone else in your family who wants a no contact order. And that's just a no contact order until you manage to get your life in proper order. Okay, I'm going to find out who it is. And we're going to find out a placement for you to help with your alcohol issues. So just give me one moment while we have the probation officer look into that. All right, Orlando Castagno.
Yes, Judge, I've conferred with my client, and I believe I need to speak with the state. So I left my client in a breakout room.
You're in 12. I'm going to send you then to breakout room number 14. If you remain in this room until Tom Nesbitt comes back, because Tom Nesbitt is in 13.
Okay, Judge.
All right, Carl Alexander.
Hi, Judge. I did my best to confer with Hunter. His signal's kind of in and out, but I would like to speak with my client, but basically what's going on is the MTR, there are 2 number 1s alleged. Both of those are awaiting a sanity evaluation. And that was filed back in July. And Hunter was able to inform me that the actual evaluation is scheduled to happen on the 12th of this month.
All right. Then Norma or Mr. Randle, can you recall this for after the 14th? If you can recall this for the last week in October, and we can see where we are on that, and then I'll send you to a breakout room with your client.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir. We can do the 29th.
Right, so we're going to do October 29th. I'm going to send you to a breakout room with your client, but when you complete conferring with your client, I need you to come back to the main room.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
All right, and have your client come back. Tom, Orlando Castagnone is waiting for you in number 14.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
And
Randall,
I
if
guess
you can go to number 4, please. I'm sorry, yes?
I guess before I go, I'm back on Morrison with Ron Ross. There is one piece of discovery outstanding. I'm going to make a physical copy of it and get it to Ron probably within the next week. And then he's going to go visit his client in custody. So if we could have a regular reset, and we will also be able to complete the discovery acknowledgement by the next reset.
Yeah, that's right, Judge. I'm going to go through and make sure. I think I get like 40 pages of documentations, and I think I've got all of it, but I'm going to make one more go pass through, and Tom's going to give me the last thing. We should be able to sign off next time.
Okay. Norma, can you give them a regular reset on Morrison, please?
Okay. He needs 14.
Yes, 14.
I'm sorry, Judge.
No, a regular reset on Morrison.
I can do the 28th.
Okay. We'll come back on October 28th.
That'll work. Judge, can you put me in a breakout with my client, and then we'll leave from there? I'll be excused from there if I may.
No, you'll need to have your client come back to the main room.
Okay. Well, can you put me? Okay.
Yes. So if you'll go back to 13.
Okay.
And Mr. Morrison, if you'll go to 13, please. Everyone, just give me a moment.
And Judge, I send you a chat.
Okay.
Did Mr. Andrew Fralick need?
All right, Ed Piker.
Yes, Judge, I conferred with probation. Now, if I could talk to the DA to see if we're on the same page, and then if I could talk to my client after that.
All right, if you go back to breakout room number 3, our prosecutor will meet you there.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Rodolfo Zepeda.
Yes, ma'am. We have an agreement, a pre-agreement, but I don't know if my client's on Zoom yet. This is the first time he's tried it, so.
All right, just one moment. Norma, can you let them know that Morrison 14D can go back, please?
Yes, sir.
All right, and Mr. Ross, you're excused.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And we'll look for your client in just one moment. Roberto Ambrosino.
Yes, Judge. I conferred with the state and my client, and I believe we have an agreement on Matthew Montalvo.
All right, if you'll put that in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson, please.
Okay, the terms of the agreement?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if we were going to have time to do that today or.
Oh, no, we do have time to do it today.
Okay.
The 187th, we always have time to do things today.
I kind of figured that.
Yeah,
but
we're a firm believer and never put off for tomorrow what you can do today.
I'll work on that. I didn't know about, Friday afternoon, that kind of thing, but.
Oh, no, it's going to be a happy Friday. All right. Matthew Allen, let's take up your case, Mr. Nellum.
Yes, Judge.
If everyone could please make sure you are on mute. Brenda, is it actually working? Or maybe I've just jinxed it by saying the computer is working. I'm so happy whenever it works. David Martin. Are you available? Or is someone from Family Violence?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome.
And Judge, Dr. Fabian and Ms. Abunge are back on the Zoom. If the
All
court-
right. And that's John Fabian?
Yes, Judge.
All right, John Fabian, I need you to start your video. And who is the other person?
Anyi Abunge.
Hi, can you see me and hear me, Your Honor?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
All right, we are back on the record in 2020 CR 8296, State of Texas versus Noah Jonathan Nellum. Could I have parties announced for the state?
David Martin.
For the defense?
Matthew Allen.
All right, and are you Noah Nellum?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we're proceeding or continuing the sentencing by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No objection.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
The court took a recess from our hearing, which was on September 29th, because the court wanted to review some more evidence that was presented, and also to give the court ample time to consider what the state is requesting and what the defense is requesting. So I do have a couple of more questions that I wanted addressed. And I did meet with defense counsel and with the state's attorney in a breakout room. I believe that was yesterday. And the question I wanted answered or verified for me, if, I'm not saying I will, but if the defendant were given deferred adjudication, where would he be staying? Because I've heard from Dr. Fabian and I've heard from others that he is not a person who can live independently. So where would he be staying? And has this already been arranged?
And Judge, I think Ms. Abange can speak to that as to the house.
Yes, yes. So,
all right, Miss Abange. First of all,
yes.
how you pronounce your last name?
Abange.
Okay, Miss Abange, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, if you can lower your hand, state your name for the record and please spell it.
Yes, my name is Aninkeng Abange, first name Anyyinkeng. The last name is Abange.
All right, defense.
Yes, okay, you had previously testified at the last hearing, right?
Yes, yes.
And remind us again where you work and how you met Noah.
Okay, so I'm the case manager for Montalvo Home Health Care Services. It's an HCS program out here in the community where
all right, wait, just back up one moment. You said you're the case manager for what?
I'm the case manager for Noah Nellum. I'm with the company Montalvo Home Health Care Services.
Can you spell that? You say, what's the company? Can you spell that, please?
Yes, it is M as in man, AOFU.
All right, you can continue.
So we work with people with intellectual and mental disabilities, they live in the group homes. We have group homes, and I met Noah where he moved to one of our group homes before he was taken to jail.
Okay, and yourself and Augustine Tam talked about how Noah could go back there. Is Noah, if he were released, could Noah go back to get those services and live there?
Yes, yes. So he's still he was just put on hold. So if he were to come back, we would notify his service coordinator. We have a group home available for him to come.
And I had spoken to Augustine. Is that the address in Round Rock?
Yes, yes.
And do you have that address for the court?
Sure, just give me one moment. Thank you.
I've got is it 3062 Blantyre?
Blantyre, yes, Blantyre, Ben Round Rock, Texas.
All right, just 1 second. I'm so sorry. Something's wrong with the sound on my end. So, Mr. Allen, can you give that address so we can make sure we have the address?
Sure, it is 3062 Blantyre, and that's BLANTYRE, Bend, BEND. It is in Round Rock, and the zip code is 78664.
All right, you can continue with your question.
Okay, and Noah would be able to if he were released, to go live there. Is that right?
Yes. So he will be there. He will have the staff there with individuals of his age group.
Okay, and so he wouldn't be around children.
No, he won't be around children. Just individuals of his age group and an adult staff 24 hours supervision.
Okay, and so you just said there would be adult staff there 24 hours a day.
Correct.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Tam. Or sorry, thank you, Ms. Abange. I don't have any other questions.
State, any questions?
No questions.
All right, I just have a few. At this home, is he allowed to have GPS, which is a monitoring device to make sure he stays at the location?
Sure. If that's one of the recommendations from the court, yes.
All right, and what will happen if he leaves the facility without permission?
Well, in our group homes, during the day, he goes to the day hub, which is at a different location. So if we were to report all the locations, I'm not sure how it works, but we would have to report all the locations that he goes to, because most of the counselors come to the group home to do any services, or they have services. So those are the two, and he lives with his staff. He's always supervised with his staff everywhere he goes to.
Okay, because I want to make sure that if I were to give him deferred, he would be tracked. There would not be a time where someone does not know where he is.
Okay, no, he will always be supervised.
All right, and if I were to give him deferred adjudication, who would be transporting him from the Bexar County Jail?
We'll have one of our drivers pick him up.
And how long is he allowed to remain at the group home if he were allowed there?
That's going to be his permanent address. He'll be there for a long time.
All right, so if the court were to order that he is to remain at that residence, you all are not going to say, we provided all our services, we're releasing him from the residence?
No, ma'am.
Are there any underage children who will be at that residence?
No, ma'am.
So what is the age of the individuals at the residence? And when I say age, I mean not the supervision or the staff. I mean the actual residents that you're treating. What's the age range?
So currently we have two individuals there. One is 29 and the other is 22.
All right, and are these all males?
Yes, it's all males.
And what is the makeup of the gender makeup of the staff there?
Male.
All right, any other questions for the witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state any other questions?
Yep.
Thank you for coming, Ms. Benge.
Thank you.
Any other witnesses? Defense?
No, Judge. Dr. Fabian is here. I didn't know if the court had any more questions for him as well. But
Yes, Dr. Fabian, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I swear, Your Honor.
All right. The court's under memory from your last testimony is that the defendant will never be able to live independently.
I would agree with that from what I know and have evaluated.
Okay. All right, I have no further questions.
No questions from the defense.
All right, state any questions?
No.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you all both for coming back. And defense and state, thank you for giving the court an opportunity to make hopefully an informed and just decision in this case. I don't take any of these cases lightly. I've reviewed the PSI report. I reviewed the PSI report where the complainant states she has no objections to the defendant being placed on probation. If I were to, Mr. Nellum, if I were to send you to prison, what would end up happening is you will be released from prison without supervision and out in the world, and who knows what will happen. But what I will tell you this, I will grant your application for deferred adjudication. Here's the thing though. If you are unsuccessful and a motion to revoke comes back, you're looking at the full range of punishment, which is up to life in prison. Do you understand, Mr. Nellum?
Yes, Your Honor.
So I can either give you deferred adjudication or I can give you 10 years in prison. So which would you prefer? And do you need to discuss that with your attorney?
No, Your Honor. I'll take deferred adjudication.
All right. Then this is what the court will do. Court will sentence you to 10 years deferred adjudication. Chapter 62 compliance. Defendant is to reside at Mayafu. Is it called Mayafu Home? What's the?
Mafu Home Health Care Services.
All right, you to reside at Mayafu Home Healthcare Services, located at 302 Blantyre Bend in Round Rock, Texas, 78664. Defendant is to be released to staff of Mayafu Home Healthcare only. Transfer, what county is Round Rock?
It's the Blue Bonnet Trios.
Judge, I think it's Williamson.
Williamson, sorry, yeah, Williamson.
Okay, thank you. Williamson County. And here's the thing, your client is not going to be released from custody until he's actually accepted. His transfer to Round Rock, Williamson County is accepted. So Mr. Allen, you're going to have to coordinate with probation, but he's going to remain in custody until his transfer is complete and until someone from that home healthcare services is available to come to San Antonio to actually pick him up from the jail. So you have to work on coordinating that.
Yes, Judge.
And I'm sorry, Ms. Abangay, I forgot to ask you, do y'all do any type of drug testing there or anything of that nature?
We usually do drug testing if there are times when the doctor would say some of the consumers to do drug testing, so we would have them do that.
All right, I'm going to require regular drug testing for him.
Okay.
So there'll be regular UAs. And I'm assuming from your facility, you're allowed to use the Zoom?
Yes.
All right, so it's going to be regular reporting for him by Zoom or in person. There's to be no contact with Carter, Cochran, Kartercochran, or Nakisha, Nakeisha Cochran. There's to be no contact with minors. Doesn't matter if it's supervised or not, there's to be no contact whatsoever with minors. If he has a contact with a minor, that's a violation of his probation. Do you all have them do community service or anything? How do they spend their time at the group home?
We do have the day activity programs where they come during the day to do activities like arts and craft, look for jobs for those that are very high functioning that want to go to work. And,
but what I can tell you, he's not going to be allowed to be on any type of computers unless it's supervised by one of the staff members. And that can only be used for job search, but it's going to have to be supervised because he's going to be on a specialized caseload.
Yes, we do have staff, yes.
Rebecca, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, is there anything else that Mr. Nellum needs?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do 40 hours of community service restitution. However, if he obtains the COVID vaccine, I'm not forcing you to do that, Mr. Nellum, I don't know if at the group home, they're required to have their COVID vaccine. But if you take the COVID vaccine, I'll deduct those 40 hours. All right, is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Nellum, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Nellum, do not, I repeat, you're young, do not violate any of the rules that I've given to you. How old are you?
19.
All right, so you were 17, I believe, when this occurred. Don't violate any of these rules. Otherwise, you may end up going to prison for life. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room with probation. And Mr. Allen, if you could go in that breakout room as well.
Yes, Judge.
And Ms. Abange, I'm going to send you in that breakout room as well so that probation can have all the information she needs. And Dr. Fabian, thank you for coming back.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good weekend.
All right, thank you, you too.
Thanks.
And Mr. Blum, I did not see you there. Thank you for coming back for us.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you want to remain, you can remain and speak with the defense attorney afterwards. Mr. Blum.
Yeah, thanks. I think I'll leave. I can text or talk with Matthew on the phone later if we want to talk. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Judge, can you put Gabriel Montoya in custody in breakout room number 14, please?
Okay, let me find him. All right, Gabriel Montoya, could you go to breakout room number 14, please? All right. Robert Maurer.
Judge, I don't think I got the invite for the breakout room.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Allen. It's a Friday.
Thank
All
you.
right, I just sent you to number 1. All right, Robert Maurer.
Judge, I conferred on both my cases. Jeremy Rotheny is a definite trial. I think we already rejected a plea bargain offer.
Okay. Just one moment. Let me see where we are. On that one, do you have all the discovery?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, just give me a moment and I'll send you to a breakout room with that to confer on the date. And that's going to be a tentative trial date because we don't know if it's the court schedule or not.
Okay, and before I go there, if I can announce on my other one, it's Antonio
Yes.
Casablanca.
Yes.
So Caitlin has to bring the alleged victim and her alleged witness son in to talk to them about some discrepancies in their story. And I'm going to provide her a bunch of social media posts because young people can't stay off social media talking crap, which helps. So if you can give us 30 days, I think we may have a resolution on the case and avoid a trial.
All right, Norma, on Antonio Casablanca, can I have a 30-day reset, please?
I can do that one on the 29th, Judge.
All right, we'll see you back on that one on October 29th.
Yes, ma'am. And then, so that is that a trial date or conferring? What do we, how do I?
That's going to be conferring.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully we'll get it resolved before then. And then I go talk to Norma about a date on the other one.
Yes, what I'm going to do is I'll send you and then the prosecutor can go to that room as well.
Okay.
And it'll probably be sometime in January, but I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Let me find you. And if the prosecutor could go to number 2 with Mr. Maurer, please.
I think she's in a breakout room, Judge.
No, she's here.
Okay. All right.
All right, Carl Alexander on Antonio Randle.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see if I have any documents. All right, what is happening with, Antonio Randle, that case is done. All right, thank you, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge. You
All
said
right, yes, I appreciate you. Everyone, just give me one moment. Mr. Randle, if you remain in your seat because the deputies don't like you moving around, I'm going to have a deputy come get you. Just give me one moment. Norma, can you let them know that 14A can go back? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me see who's up next. Froelich.
I was about to say, yes, Judge. My client is Margaret De La Cruz, also
Yes.
Margaret Garza De La Cruz. It's 2021 CR 77. I just had it.
69.
Thank you. She missed court Tuesday, Judge. We did locate her. Her and I communicate.
All right. Oh, he's going out. Margaret De La Cruz, can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Ms. De La Cruz, where were you?
We
I
have
was,
contact. I would like to ask the court to lift the.
Okay, Andrew Froelich, you're going in and out. You may want to zoom out and zoom back in. Let me help you with that.
Judge, if you just give it a second, I'm here, ready to go.
No, there's something, your Wi-Fi or something is not stable. Okay, just give us a moment, Ms. De La Cruz. We'll get him back in.
Thank you.
Sure. Ed Piker.
Yes, if I could talk to my client, please. Jennifer Sutter.
All right, Ms.
She's in
Sutter.
custody.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. Ed, if you'll go back to 3, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Michael Latimer.
Yes, Your Honor, I spoke to Hunter Morris and I've already contacted the prosecutor in County Court 7. They are willing to dismiss the felony charge in consideration of my client pleading on a County Court 7 case. I've already emailed the AG in the County Court 7 case, and I'd like to get it all resolved by next week.
All right, Norma, can you recall? Oh, she's in a breakout room. We'll recall you for Friday. Will that be done by Friday?
I certainly hope so.
Okay, so let me put on here.
I already emailed the prosecutor in the County Court 7, so.
Okay, so we'll recall you on October 8th.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're excused?
Yes, is your client in custody or on bond?
No, he's on bond and he should have called in.
All right. So Leo Hernandez, we'll bring you back on October 8th. Defense, if you've already taken care of this matter before October 8th, just let the court know.
Yes, I will.
All right, you and your client are excused. Have a great rest of your weekend. Well, a great weekend.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Everyone, just give me a moment.
Judge,
Just one moment.
apologize.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, we'll see you back on October 8th. Okay, Andrew Froelich, your Wi-Fi was unstable. It was going in and out. So where's your client been? Why didn't she show?
She's been taking care of her mom, Judge. Her mom, and she just didn't get a hold of me in time to get the link to get in there. So we do have contact now. We've been speaking today. I assure you, she has apologized to me, and she can apologize to the court as well for missing court. But I don't think it'll happen again.
All right, and have you had a chance to confer with the state on this case at all?
Judge, I have a little bit to a certain extent, but I think that we have a plan given the next 30 days to make sure that she's doing the things she needs to do.
Is that plan based upon some negotiations with your state?
I believe, I can't recall if we
All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to recall your case, Ms. Garza, we're going to recall your case
for
October 28th.
the
I'll
other day or
recall
not,
the
but
bond for.
honestly, I can't recall whether.
I apologize.
That's okay. Ms. Garza, we're going to recall your case for October 28th.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to recall the bond forfeiture
Thank you. very
and
much.
ask that your bond be reinstated.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm grateful.
All right, so here's the thing, Ms. Garza.
Yes, ma'am.
You now know that your court date is when? October 28th. If for some reason you do not have the link, then you need to either show up in person or on Zoom. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Understood.
All right, we'll see you on October 28th.
Thank you very much, and you have a good weekend.
All right, thank you. You too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Froelich, work on your Wi-Fi.
Thank you. You have a good day.
All right, you too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Rodolfo Zepeda, and then we'll do Victoria Cruz.
Yes, Your Honor. We have an agreement, we have a plea agreement. Marcus has sent me some paperwork, but I don't know if my client is on Zoom. I sent him the ID number, but I don't know. This is the first time he's tried it.
All right, we will see what is going on. Just give me one moment. Let's see who is in the courtroom. All right, we'll see if you can call your client and see what the issue is.
Right.
Victoria Cruz.
Yes, Your Honor. I've conferred with Joe Ray. This is an off-docket matter.
Yes.
Reached an agreement to set bond on inmate Saul Jaime, and I am, as we speak, sending an email with an agreed order. And I'm CCing Joe Ray. I sent him an electronic signature, but he said it's just easier to just CC him, and he's in agreement.
Okay, thank you. If you send that email to the court, I will send it to the clerk so it can be printed off because my printer exploded. So I have no printer. Who knows when I will get one.
I apologize, Your Honor. Please let us know if you're still out next week and we will make it happen.
Somebody's gonna make a printer. You guys is giving a printer to the government. Okay.
You have to have a printer.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, H. Dave Sanchez.
Judge, I've conferred with family violence and CTD, and my client apparently, we reset this case about 2 weeks ago to find out whether or not they intended to indict on a third degree that they have pending. According to Joe Ray, they do intend to indict. They're waiting on, I guess, 911 tapes.
Okay.
I anticipate if they do that, Judge, that case is going to be appointed to someone else, as I'm only on a state jail list.
Okay, so what we will do is we will recall it and see where we are. And we'll recall it for October 28th. Is that enough time, Joe Ray?
I think so, Judge. It was just some more evidence that intake was requesting, and they requested it last week. So they should have it.
All right. Is your client on bond?
My client is in custody, Judge.
All right, Mr. Mercado, we're going to bring you back on October 28th. If something happens before then, we'll bring you back sooner. Your attorney just only needs to let us know. Do you understand?
Judge, can I get to a breakout room with him? He's a Spanish speaker. So.
All right. I'll send you to breakout room number 2. And can you have him come back to the main room because we'll need to excuse him from the main room.
Okay, Judge. Yes. Thanks.
All right, let me find you on the screen. You were in number 5. If you can go back to breakout room number 5, please. And could you tell your client, Mr. Mercado, to go to 5?
Yes.
Señor Mercado. ¿Me escuchas? Señor Mercado.
He's there right now.
Is he in
All
there?
right, thank you. Okay, Mrs. Zepeda, we're still waiting for your client. And if everyone will give me one moment. All right, thank you. All right, Bobby Gebbia, just give us a moment, please. John Kuntz on Stegmeyer.
Hey, Judge, I just wanted to give the court an update. Last setting, you had called Dr. Scott, who had done the initial evaluation on Mr. Stegemeyer.
Yes.
And had asked him to do a second evaluation or reevaluation. I provided him documents approximately 4 weeks ago. I dropped them off at the jail personally. And I don't believe, I have certainly not seen any revised report. So we're still waiting on that.
Okay. And you have Dr. Scott's contact information?
I do now, yes.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll give it a 30-day reset. And
okay.
If you find out something before then, let us know and we'll bring it back. Norman, can I have a 30-day reset on Stegemeyer? It has to do with the evaluation from Dr. Scott.
Yes, sir. It's in the chat.
All right, we'll see you back on October 29th.
Thank you, Judge. And can you put me and my client in a breakout room and then can we be excused from there?
You'll need to bring him back to the main room to be excused from the main room.
Okay, sure. Okay, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to figure out, yeah.
Yeah, I'll send Mr. Stegmeyer. I'm gonna send you to breakout room number 7. All right, Ed Piker.
Yeah, Judge, I talked to my client. I think we have a good solution to this. I just would like to talk to the PO one time and let her know which direction we're going because there were several options.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Just be patient because she's in there going over conditions.
Okay, and then once she's finished, we'll be ready to appear before you.
Yes, and Bobby Gabby, I'll be right with you as soon as probation is finished going over conditions in number 1.
Thank you, Judge.
Can you lift that remain with that line for me? And let me sign this and give this to you. Okay. Sure. Let me just check my email. All right, Montalvo.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, if you can go to breakout room. Let me see. If you go to breakout room number 2, please. The prosecutor will be there to.
Sorry. I have a thing that popped up. It said room 6.
No. That's a quick finger on me. I'm sending you to breakout room number 2.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And probation, the clerks will swear you in. All right, H. Dave Sanchez.
Judge, I'm back. I've spoken to my client. He understands that we're coming back on the 28th, sir.
All right, Norman, you can let them know that Mr. Mercado can go. He's just listed as 187th Mercado. All right, thank you, Mr. Sanchez. You're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, I'm back from 14. Is Gabriel Montoya sent to breakout room 14?
All right, Mr. Montoya. I'm going to move you actually to 13 so it can pop up on your screen and you can see it. And your attorney will be waiting for you there. You should see at the Mr. Montoya at the bottom of your screen. Do you see where it has breakout rooms or more?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just push on breakout room and it should be a request for you to go to breakout room number 13.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your attorney is waiting for you there. Norman, did you get the court date for Robert Mauer's client, Jeremy Rotheny? You're on mute.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you give a court date to Robert Mauer?
On.
He and Caitlin Wilkes were supposed to be conferring on a trial date.
Yeah, I gave him the January 12th date, Judge, and I told him to come back.
Okay, they're not in this room for some reason.
Yes, we are, you judge.
Oh, you just popped in?
I've been here. I'm sorry, I had my screen off because my dogs were barking and I went to go spray them with a spray bottle.
Okay, no, Robert Mauer is not here. And so Norman, he and his client need to be here.
Okay, Judge.
Thank
Give me
you.
1 second.
All right, Officer Tatlow, you needed to speak with me?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right, I'll meet you in breakout room number 4.
Yes, ma'am.
And everyone, just give me a moment, please.
Hey, Norma, it's John Kuntz.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to bother you. Mr. Segemeyer and I just conferred there. Okay, he was able to make it back. He was struggling a little bit with the buttons and stuff. So we're just here to tell the judge that we've conferred and for her to excuse us. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Judge, it's John Kuntz.
Yes.
My client and I have conferred and discussed, and so we're just asking for you to excuse us at this point. We have the new court date of October 29th.
All right, thank you very much. And Mr. Kuntz, the reason why I have people come back to the main room is because we need to excuse the inmates from here.
Absolutely. I do
All
whatever
right.
you, I do whatever you say, Judge. You know that.
I appreciate that. Have a good one. Have a great weekend.
You too. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you. Who are the parties on Matthew Ray Montalvo?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is the defense and who is the prosecutor on this case?
I am judge.
Brenna, the spotlights are working perfectly. Now, if only I had a printer. I guess that may be asking for too much. I don't know. Court is calling 2021 CR 3955, State of Texas versus Matthew Ray Montalvo. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Roberto Ambrosino.
And are you Matthew Montalvo?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Montalvo, I'm going to show you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case? And did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Montalvo, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Montalvo, I'm going to show you what's entitled court admonishments, the defendant's waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand what you're charged with is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2, 4 grams to 200 grams, that's a second-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did. I did.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Montalvo, has anyone threatened you, forced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you what's entitled plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, there's a $1,500 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They will take in consideration JN number 1966208. And there's restitution to SAPD for drug testing. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm going to show you the paragraph entitled waiver of appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. State is requesting that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 6 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 120 hours of community service restitution, regular UAs, and follow recommendations of TAP. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachment.
Any objections?
No objection.
Mr. Montalvo, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
I'm sorry, ma'am. Oh, sorry.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, my client is employed. He's self-employed. He has a pool cleaning business. He's doing well at this point. He's in a good place. I'd ask that you follow the plea bargain agreement.
Mr. Montalvo, do you have any children?
No, ma'am, just a dog and a fiance.
What type of dog do you have?
A small little French bulldog.
Okay.
He's a chunky guy.
Is he chunky? Does he need to be on a diet? I don't know.
He should be on a diet, but it's hard to stop feeding him the fries.
Oh, well, I mean, that's not good.
No. Sometimes he won't eat until I give him one.
Yeah. So what do you do? What's your employment?
I work for a pool cleaning company, and then I also have my own pools on my own. So I service pools 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, everywhere around San Antonio, mainly the north side, but I'm in Bernie all the way from Petrenko to Universal City on 1604. So up and down all that area.
If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And know that I can drug test you today.
They might be positive for some minor THC.
Well, see, you got a lot of words in there. You like might, minor. So
I would probably be dirty for THC.
All right, so we go from might to probably. So as my grandmother would always say, tell the truth and shame the devil. Here's the thing.
Ma'am.
I'm trying to figure out what conditions of probation to give you so that you'll be successful.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
never my intention to place somebody on probation so they can fail.
Mhm.
So if you come to me and you say, Judge, I have employment. and then it turns out you don't, because part of the conditions of probation is you have employment, then that's something that you should have told me at the time of sentencing, so we can figure out a way for you to have employment. If you tell me you're not using drugs after I've asked, and then something ends up happening on this probation because you're not allowed to use drugs, even marijuana or drink alcohol, and you end up testing positive, then you can't come back to the court and say, nobody ever offered me help, because
Yes,
I
ma'am.
write down everything. And the questions
Understand.
I'm asking you, I ask a majority of the people, because I don't do cookie cutter conditions of probation. Each
Yes, ma'am.
condition is individualized to the person's needs. So let's start over.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you're drug tested today, and know that I can have you drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative or positive, sorry.
Okay.
I got my words mixed up, but
And what are you going to be positive for?
marijuana.
All right. And what's up with the tattoos on your hand?
It was love from.
Are you giving me the finger?
No. Sorry, I'll show you the whole hand.
Okay.
It just says love on my wedding finger.
All right,
Sorry,
love on your
sorry.
wedding finger. Have you been married before?
No, but I was in a relationship where the woman wanted me to, and she wanted me to tattoo her name, but I had to agree with love instead of a name. I wasn't gonna tattoo any names on me.
Mhm. All right. I was like, is he, giving a sign to me, print on the slide? I don't know.
No,
I
no.
got to ask this thing. So what are
No,
the
I'm
other
not married
tattoos?
yet, but we've been together for 9 years now, so it's coming shortly.
All right. So what are the other tattoos?
This is a diamond. It was a clothing brand that I was into at a certain time. I was young.
I don't see anybody walking around with Jordache tattoos.
I know. If it helps, I worked at a place called Diamond Bright, and it kind of helped me there too, maybe. I'm not sure.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. $1,500 fine, that'll be probated. 6 years deferred adjudication. Taking consideration JN 1966208. Proof of employment within 30 days. And I'm sorry, Roberto Ambrosino, everything that I'm saying, you're going to have to write down, and I'm going to send you to a breakout room to give this information to probation.
Okay.
Not to put any pressure on you, but there's only been one defense attorney who's been successful at that, and that was Nathaniel Navy. So I'm hoping you will break the streak and be successful. So everything that I say, you got to give it to her.
Okay.
All right. $1,500 fine, probated. 6 years deferred adjudication. Taking consideration JN 1966208. Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. 120 hours of community service restitution. Mr. Montalvo, if you obtain the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, or have had the COVID vaccine, and you bring proof to probation, 40 of those hours will be deducted from your community service restitution. For the record, I'm not forcing anyone to get the COVID vaccine, but if you do, 40 hours will be deducted from your 120 hours community service restitution. There is to be regular reporting by Zoom. If something happens and you can't report by Zoom, it must be then in person. I'm going to want UA testing for levels. Field visits.
What
Two
was
times.
it? What
Field,
kind of-
F-I-E-L-D,
Okay,
field
field.
visits 2 times per month, random. and there's to be restitution to SAPD for drug testing. Mr. Montalvo, is there anything else you need from me in order to be successful on this deferred adjudication?
No, ma'am, I think I can make it happen. Well, I will make it happen.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Montalvo, while you're on this deferred adjudication, you're not allowed to even drink alcohol. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You can go off the record, Brenna. From here on out, everything you do, every decision you make, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could result in me going to prison for potentially 20 years? You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Hopefully, Roberto, you have not let me down.
I have it.
Okay, I'm going to send you to one. Rebecca, you're back? All right, she's back there. I'm going to send you number 1. Don't let me down. All right, so if you all both would go to breakout room number 1. And on Robert, on your client.
I was told I had to come back, I guess, on Rotheny to check in with you.
Yes,
trial.
it needs to be placed on the record, the trial date. Where's Mr. Rotheny?
Should be in jail.
Let me see.
Oh, no, there he is. I think Jeremy's Galaxy S9.
I mean, the guy with the hat to the back?
There we go.
Oh,
Or is that a headband? What are you wearing, Jeremy Rotheny?
I was wearing a ball cap. It's off. I'm sorry, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Rotheny, I didn't know that I would have to tell people how to dress for a court. Mr. Rotheny, here's the thing. If you appear on this Zoom any other time dressed inappropriately with a hat, you're going to be required to appear in person. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 3013 State of Texas versus Jeremy Rotheny. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Caitlin Wilkes for the state.
For the defense?
Robert Mauer for defendant.
Are you Jeremy Rotheny?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Judge.
Any objection from the defense?
No.
Mr. Rotheny, do you have any objections to us proceeding by video?
No, ma'am.
All right, defense, have you received all the discovery in this case?
I have, Judge. I think my standard response now in light of the new statute ordering police compliance, I have received everything that the state said they received from law enforcement. So I guess the ultimate question would be, has law enforcement provided everything they have a duty to provide? And I cannot answer that question.
Okay. That is so true.
I think what they need to do is have somebody from law enforcement come in and affirm to their compliance in the future.
State, do you know if law enforcement is in compliance?
At this time, Your Honor, I don't, based on the fact that the case was filed prior to the new institution of that law. But certainly, if something does come up that has not been turned over, we will reasonably and quickly turn that to defense.
Okay. So this is what the court will do then. My understanding is you all conferred over a trial date. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. We're going to reset this. My understanding, your trial date that you agreed upon was January 12th.
That's correct.
Judge.
All right, we're going to recall this case for January 12th, 2022. I need to get used to saying that at 9 a.m. Mr. Rotheny, that is your tentative jury trial date. The court systems will be giving trial dates on rotation. That date has not been put in the system for the 187th. If for any reason defense counsel, the 187th jury trial date is on a different date other than January 12th, if it becomes January 18th, then that date will be your date. Ms. Ferguson will be in contact with you, Mr. Mauer, to make sure we actually have jury scheduled for that date. Also, if jurors are suspended again, it will not be on that date and we will be here by Zoom.
Okay. I'll
So
be
January 10th, I'm sorry, Mr. Mauer?
Good Lord willing, the creek don't rise, I'll be here.
Well, you know what, people, I haven't heard that saying in a long time.
Really? That's what my whole family says that.
Yeah. You know, it's, I can tell everyone here is from the country then.
It's one of the better sayings.
It is.
I thought it was a Baptist thing. I guess. I guess.
But
not.
sometimes if the creek rise, it makes it easier to fish. But there you go. Talk to Laura Ingalls Wilder about that. All right. All right. Thank you all. I'll see you on January 12th.
All right. Y'all have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Have a good day, Jed.
Thank you. You too. And now we have Bobby Gavia.
I'm here, Judge.
Okay. And your client is in the courtroom.
Correct.
And there were some things that I asked for Ms. McIntyre. Did you receive the documents from defense?
I don't know. You know what? I don't believe I received documents from defense.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Meredith and Judge. I didn't CC you on any of that. It was proof of employment, and he should have his medical documentation with him, and probation provided me with a copy of the urinalysis.
All right, I'm going to forward what was sent to me. Just so you know, Ms. McIntyre, I haven't reviewed what was sent to me. So I'll send you the email that was forwarded. If my computer will.
I turned the papers into your office.
Just hang on, sir. We'll get to you.
Okay, I've just sent an email to you, Meredith, and it's the email that Bobby has sent to me. And everyone, just give me one moment, please. Mr. McBride?
Yes.
Yes, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. We're going to see if SATIF will accept you. If SATIF doesn't accept you, then we're going to try the mental health caseload. So I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. When you go there, be patient because probation is already speaking to someone else, okay?
I have a question. If deferred adjudication you completed successfully, is that a conviction or no?
No, it's not a conviction on your record, but it will be on your record.
It would
But
just
it
show
will
up as
show
an
that-
arrest?
Everything that happened with the case, as far as you were arrested, this is what you're charged with, that's in the system.
So it won't show up as a conviction though, it will.
No, if you successfully completed deferred adjudication, it won't show up as a conviction.
All right, thank you. I was just
You're
curious.
welcome. I'll send you to breakout room number 1. Mr. Zepeda, do you know where your client is?
No, ma'am, I've called him and I've emailed him. I can't get a hold of him now, but I had earlier.
All right, on your client, Ms. Ferguson, can we recall Mr. Seelig for Monday, please?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're going to recall your client for Monday. If he can't appear by Zoom because of technical difficulties, then he needs to appear in court.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. You're excused. Thank you for your patience. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend.
You too, ma'am.
All right, bye-bye. All right, and then Ed Piper.
I'm here.
Yes.
It's on Ms. Sutter. We have it
Yes.
worked out with your permission.
Okay, so I'm just waiting for the paperwork to come back to me.
Okay, we've signed the video agreement. We didn't get a trial certification right of appeal.
It was sent.
It was?
It was sent with the consent.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's there. So as soon as I get it in my box, we'll take up your matter.
okay. The court said that they sent that to you. It's connected to the,
Okay. So Ms. McIntyre, did you receive the documents from defense?
I did receive the proof of employment.
Okay. And this is what I'll do. To the clerks,
Yes,
the other documents that have been sent to me, I'm going to have the clerk scan it so you can have it. Just one moment.
Lupe, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
We didn't get that, the right of appeal paper that was supposed to be attached. My paralegal
All right.
said it's not there. Could we send it again?
All right. And Ed, I'll send you to number 2. And Ms. Sutter, I'll send you to number 2. And the clerk will meet you in number 2.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Norma, what's the reset date on Lamont Curry, please?
Do you want to do the end of the month, Judge?
Yes.
We can do the 28th.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Oh, let me give you this. Mary, the documents should be coming to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Norma, do you know where Mr. Bartholomew is on this Michael Griffin?
Let me call him, Judge.
Thank you. All right, did you finish signing the paperwork?
Yes.
Okay. Who's the prosecutor on this case?
It was Hunter that I spoke with.
Okay.
It is I, Judge.
All right, thank you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes. All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 13727, State of Texas versus Jennifer Lee Sutter. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Hunter Moore.
For the defense?
Ed Piker.
And are you Miss Sutter? Can you unmute for me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
None, Judge.
Any objection from the defense?
None.
Ms. Sutter, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video conference. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Jennifer Lee Sutter who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 13727 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams on June 3rd, 2020 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
On or about the 25th day of May 2021 to on or about the 10th day of June 2021 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Jennifer Lee Sutter, tested positive for methamphetamine in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Now, I need your answer. I need the answer to either be true or not true.
True.
State?
And Judge, just for the record, the state would move to amend that violation allegation to include, oh, never mind, I just left it out. 10th day of June for clarity. It's the 25th of May until the 10th day of June.
All right, any objections to that amendment?
No objection.
All right, how do you plead to that, Ms. Sutter, true or not true?
True, Your Honor.
All right,
The
state.
state would waive and abandon the remaining allegations.
Any objections to the waivers?
No objection.
Ms. Sutter, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
I understand, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, sir. I mean, yes, ma'am. I would like to be honest with the court.
No, the question is, do you still?
Oh, true.
No, just calm down. Take a deep breath. So I've explained to you, do you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, I can find you guilty? Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand that I could sentence you to 10 years in prison? Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand I could sentence you up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes.
Understanding all of that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes.
All right, the court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Judge. We'd ask the court to deny the MTR and amend the conditions to include drug court.
All right, is that the agreement?
Yes, it is.
All right, the court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include felony drug court. The defendant is to remain in custody until evaluated for felony drug court. Ms. Sutter, felony drug court, they will probably be able to evaluate you and see you next week because it's Friday. They're not going to be able to see you today, but they're very good about seeing people quickly. If she does not qualify for felony drug court, then I'm going to have her do SATA, followed by intensive outpatient treatment with probation and the UA hotline. Anything else from either side?
Not from defense.
All right, with that, we'll close the record. Ms. Sutter, felony drug court is a great program, but you have to be honest with them. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Brenda, back on the record one moment because she was sentenced sort of pre-COVID. Ms. Sutter, I know you have community service restitution hours 150. If you obtain the COVID vaccine, or if you've obtained it and you provide proof of that, the court will waive 40 of those hours. Again, I'm not forcing anyone to get the COVID vaccine, but if you do, 40 hours will be deducted. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and with that, we will close the record. Norma, Mr. McBride can go back.
Thank you.
She's.
All right, and probation, are you there? All right, just one moment. Norma, can I see you in breakout room number 1, please?
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Sutter, I'm going to send you to number 1. Just give me a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Good luck, Jennifer. I will call, you want me to call Mia and tell her what happened?
Yes, please.
Okay, I will. So it's all up to you now.
Yes, understand.
Everyone can give me a moment. Probation's computer is not acting very well because people are trying to make this Monday. Mr. McBride, just give us a moment. Probation is restarting their computer. Okay. And Mr. Piker?
Yes, ma'am.
If you don't have anything else with us, you're excused. I'm just waiting for probation to come in and I'll give probation what I ordered for Ms. Sutter.
Okay, I did talk to Jennifer there a brief moments after the hearing, so we're good. So I am going to take off.
All right, thank you. Have a great rest of your week.
Yeah, you too, and a good weekend, everybody. Have a good weekend. Jennifer, take care of yourself.
Oh, she's on mute, so she can't respond.
You too, sir.
All right, thanks. All right, everyone, just be patient. Probation will zoom back in. Hopefully their computer issues get solved. And Meredith, are you ready on Mr. Brewer?
Yes, I am, Judge.
Bobby Gebbia, are you ready on Mr. Brewer?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 0778, State of Texas versus James Brewer. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
For the defense?
Robert Gebbia for the defense.
And are you Mr. Brewer?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, again, we're continuing with this hearing by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court asked that this hearing be continued today because the court was requesting some information as it relates to Mr. Brewer. Defense, do you have that information from the court for the court?
Yes, Your Honor, I do. And it was provided to the court via email or We provided the proof of employment, the medicals, and he provided a UA sample earlier in the week. As the court is aware, and probation notified me, the UA tested positive for amphetamine and methamphetamine. Obviously concerning, Judge. My client is steadfast in his statements that he is not using methamphetamine or amphetamines. He believes that this is a false positive due to the medication that he is taking on account of his heart condition. I have nothing to take him at but his word. I don't know if there is a I'm not an expert in any way to speak on how a drug test could come back positive. I understand, at least through, anecdotally, that false positives can be triggered by prescription medication, but I have no skills, knowledge, or training or expertise to know that this particular medicine that he's taking could potentially trigger the result that we received. We did provide the employment information and the medical history. I understand the court's position and what the court is looking at here. I still remain firm in my statements that I believe he'll be a good probationer and I believe he's ready to turn his life around. I don't believe that this drug test is accurately reflecting what it is that my client is doing right now in his life.
Okay, everyone just off the record for one moment. Ms. Reyes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Jennifer Sutter. She
Yes,
pled true to violation of condition number 2. The agreement was to deny the motion. She is to be evaluated for felony drug court while in custody. If felony drug court does not accept her, then she's to be evaluated for SATIV, followed by intensive outpatient treatment with probation, the UA hotline, and minus 40 hours of community service restitution if she provides proof of the COVID vaccination.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Mr. McBride, I'll send you to number 1. And Ms. Sutter, I'm going to send you to number 1. I need both of you to be patient in that breakout room because probation is already going over conditions with someone else. Okay, we can go back on the record. Defense? We're back on the record.
I'm here, Judge.
Yes. Did you want to add any more to your argument to the court?
No, Your Honor. I think I summed it up there for you.
All right, State.
Judge, from the state's position, I believe the results of this drug test are accurate. I've never heard of a heart medication causing you to test positive for methamphetamine. And I think it goes to the argument that I've previously made that I don't think he's a good candidate for probation based on his record and based on the fact that in the state's opinion, that he lied to the court earlier this week and is not being forthcoming. So we ask that you deny their application.
Mr. Brewer, and this is a question, I don't know if you want to discuss it with your attorney or not. I'm trying to figure out why you're positive for drugs. And here's the number one thing, Mr. Brewer, here's the number one thing I always tell people. Just be honest. Because the information that I'm asking it to see if people are clean and sober. I'm asking it to make a determination on whether or not this person should be on probation, just any person. And then if they do have a drug or alcohol problem, I need to know where they are in their sobriety. And where I'm able to determine where they are in their sobriety is whether or not they're honest with me.
Yes, Your Honor.
So we're back to the point of, are you using and what are you using? Because here's the thing, Mr. Brewer, don't have me doing this whole thing where I say, okay, let's go get a confirmation.
All right, Your Honor.
And then it confirms it is what they're saying it is.
The last time I used was probably
Well, I
10
mean,
days.
before you answer those questions, you may want to talk to your defense attorney.
I just want to be honest.
Yeah, because I'm going to swear you in. So I don't know, Mr. Gebbia, did you want to speak with Mr. Brewer?
I've spoken to him already telephonically in anticipation of these questions, Judge. I have experience with this court. I know how the court operates. While I do believe that he has an opportunity and to make that it is potentially a false positive, I also encourage him to be very honest with this court for all the reasons that you just set forth.
All right, Mr. Brewer, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
James Brewer.
All right, so I'm being told that your drug test came back positive. The question becomes whether or not you want a confirmation done, because a confirmation test will tell me if it's something else or is it truly drugs. I've been a defense attorney in all of the felony drug courts and other treatment courts. So,
Your Honor, the last time I used was 10 to 14 days ago. I have done a false positive on a DOT physical. I'm not saying that this is the case. So yes, that's the truth and nothing but the truth.
okay, and when you're saying that you're not saying this is a false positive, then that means that
It could, like I said, I used 10 to 14 days ago.
okay, how often are you using drugs?
Maybe twice, 3 times a month.
You were gonna say maybe once, twice, 3 times a week, then you caught yourself.
Right.
Here's the thing, Mr. Brewer. I'm gonna need honesty from you in order to decide what to do with your case. Now, your honesty, it may end up resulting in you going to prison. I don't know yet. It may end up in you being on probation, but being taken into custody for treatment. I don't know. But if you're not honest with me, and I believe that you're not being honest, then I will deal with that eventuality too, if that happens.
Yes, Your Honor.
So how often are you using drugs?
I'm not using it every week. Maybe, I'm using more than once or 3 times a month though. I don't know how long. I mean, maybe once a week, twice a week.
Okay, so let's be honest.
Okay.
When's the last time you used?
Right before I went and took that test.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to test positive.
So you used right before you had taken, before you took.
About 3 days. Okay, we had court on Monday. I stopped probably Wednesday of last week.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
I'm not gonna ask questions, Judge.
Defense, any questions?
No, I don't think so, Judge.
All right. The court, obviously there's more going on here. The court will hear argument from both sides now that we have this added information, if there is any argument, and now that we've had this added testimony.
Judge, from the defense's perspective, I think that the being honest and forthcoming with the court is good, but it comes with a cost, of course. We need to know what type of programs might be necessary for him if the court is going to place him on probation. It's pretty clear that if he is using and wants to stop using, that he could benefit from the assistance that probation could give him. So I would ask for an intensive outpatient treatment program to get him started. And I think that that would be a good place for him to start. I don't know if we have a real good, I don't think we have a lot of clarity on what it is that he's doing in his personal life. And I don't think the TAP evaluation has given us, the right treatment recommendations because, we didn't have a good forthcoming discussion with the evaluator. It's also possible that we could, order a new TAP evaluation so that we could discuss further what type of treatment programs might be available to him.
All right. So,
but I do think going back to where we started, Judge, where we started with this case is, he rented a car and he didn't return it. So, I know I talked a little bit, earlier in the week that I didn't exactly think it's the crime of the century, and I still don't. The car wasn't damaged. The victim has been made whole. There's a nominal amount of restitution that needs to be paid. I don't think that we look at this and say, okay, well, it's time for you to go to prison because of this behavior. I do think he can be supervised. I think that he needs to be supervised, and I think that that's the appropriate way to mete out punishment here, Judge.
Ms. McIntyre?
Judge, I stand by my previous argument. State is not claiming that this is the crime of the century, which is why we did the cap, and there's the punishment range the court has to work with. We're looking at a history of 4, if I remember correctly from the PSI, 4 felony probations, 4 revocations. In order for someone to be successful on probation, they have to be honest. And we're still not getting the truth here. We're not taking responsibility for what is going on. And truthfully, the state feels like if the court were to grant his application, we'd be back here in a few more months on a violation. And so we're asking the court to deny and sentence him.
Okay. Mr. Brewer, this is where we are. No matter what I do today, you're not walking out of the courtroom today. You're either walking out, you're either going to do 2 years in prison, or either you're going to inpatient treatment. Those are your 2 choices. If you want to do prison time and be done, I'll give you 2 years. So you can either do 2 years, or either you can do treatment, but either way, you're being taken into custody today. Do you need to discuss that with your attorney? Yes, Mr. Brewer?
I guess I need to discuss it with my attorney. Will I come back before you?
Oh, no, you're not leaving here today.
No, I'm saying, will I be coming back before you?
Yes, after you speak with your attorney. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. So if the courtroom could go to number 2. And Mr. Gebbia, if you could go to 2, please.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Orlando Castagnon, thank you for your patience. What is going on?
I believe that we're just waiting on paperwork, Judge.
Okay. All right, as soon as I receive it, I will sign it. Ed Bartholomew.
Your Honor, Michael Griffin.
Yes.
I've contacted him, left messages. I haven't gotten a return call as of this time.
All right, well, what I'll do is I'll give him, we can either hear this now, or I can give him until we finish with our cases today.
Judge, it's not going to happen. I haven't heard from him. If it is, I'll call you right away before you finish with your cases.
All right, then let's go on the record very quickly.
But wait a minute. Hold it.
Okay.
Logs del Bartolome.
And Norma, we need Alfonso Cabanas on Matthew Cuellar, please.
Judge, one other thing. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, he was offered a pretrial diversion, then he wanted a trial. Now he wants his pretrial diversion. He said he was reckless.
Excuse me, Judge. Can you make me co-host so I can share my screen with the defendant?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes. No, Ed Bartholomew, your client needs to be here today.
Well, I'm doing my best, Judge. I've called.
All right, so we're going to go on the record with Michael Griffith. Is there a prosecutor available?
Judge, I can do that.
All right, the court is calling 2019 CR 6833, State of Texas versus Michael Griffith. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Under Morris.
For the defense?
Mr. Bartolome, on behalf of Michael Griffin seeking to reinstate the state's original offer for pretrial diversion, Your Honor, and I have attempted to contact him. At this time, I have not received a call, and that begins last night and this morning, Judge, as late as 3:30, Judge.
All right, so we're proceeding with this hearing by video. Any objection from the state?
None, Judge.
Any objection from the defense?
No objection regarding that, Your Honor.
All right, this hearing was originally scheduled on September 29, 2021. The defendant was a no-show. Then it was recalled for October 1st, 2021 at 1:30 p.m. It's now 3:37 p.m. Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
Only, no, Your Honor, I have what I believe is a good number. I left a message. I have not received a return call at any time.
And the defendant has not been on the Zoom screen. To the courtroom, has there been a Michael Richard Griffin in the courtroom?
And I'm sorry.
No, Your Honor.
Thank you.
We're gonna have to talk to the judge.
State.
They would have
Talk to her.
to forfeit the defendant's bond and issue a warrant.
All right, that will be granted. If you're able to get in touch with your client and your client presents himself, the court will reconsider.
Thank you, Your Honor. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sorry to come in late, Your Honor.
Oh, no problem. We're here till 5, hopefully not till 5. I know people would prefer if we're not here till 5, but I'll be here till 5.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Don't ask me about LSU, but I appreciate that.
I won't, Judge.
Okay, have a great one. All right, Bobby Givia, you're back.
I am, Judge, and I had a very frank discussion with my client off the record in the breakout room. We have you know, some issues.
All right, so we're going to go back on the record. We're back on the record in 2020 CR 0778. Defense, you had a chance to speak with your client?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
All right, so what is your client's decision?
Your Honor, my client's decision is to accept 2 years in TDC. He is asking this court to reset him for sentencing, to come back in 2 weeks so he could prepare his family for him to be sentenced. And if he fails to appear in 2 weeks, Your Honor, then, you know, as a consequence, then we would ask that the court, you know, sentence him to the maximum range of punishment under the plea bargain.
All right, that will be denied. Mr. Brewer, the court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. I don't believe there's any restitution. Is there any restitution?
It was like $300. It's in the PSI.
There is, Judge. It's in the PSI. I can pull it up.
So I see a restitution of $338.50. Is that the agreed restitution?
Yes, that's it.
All right, so restitution of $338.50 to Enterprise Rent a Car. All right, Mr. Brewer, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes.
Your Honor, the reason why I wanted the 2 weeks was to help my wife, which does not work, move out of where we live at. She just lost her mother 3 months ago. I've never fled. I've always reported when they wanted me to come to court. I've always done what y'all asked me to do. That's all I'm asking, is to tell her goodbye and to help move out so I don't lose everything I have. That's all I'm asking, Judge.
Okay, here's the problem, Mr. Brewer. And we can go off the record. This is the problem, Mr. Brewer. You have a drug problem.
I understand that. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you have a heart problem.
Yes, ma'am.
Drug problem plus heart problem equals Russian roulette whenever you do drugs. And you've already told me that you use weekly. So the answer is going to be no. This is what I will tell you what I know.
Judge, please. No,
Mr. Brewer, let me tell you what I know. Sometimes people attach great importance to things. But as I've often been told when I was growing up, you know what a problem is? A problem is a problem that money can't solve. So the fact that maybe furniture is lost, that can be replaced, but your life can't be replaced.
Neither can my wife.
And here's the thing. No, your wife is going to be fine. And here's
No,
the
she's
thing.
sick.
Here's the thing, Mr. Brewer. You may not be fine.
I'll
Because
take your
continue to
analysis.
use it. So you can take Mr. Brewer away. Now, thank you, Mr. Gebbia.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate your patience and your consideration.
All right, thank you.
And Judge, I've received the paperwork on Mr. Montoya's case from the state. And I guess I would like to be able to share my screen so I can go over it with him.
What I'm going to do is sometimes it works if I make you co-host. So I'm going to make you a co-host and I'm going to send you to a breakout room with Mr. Montoya.
In Orlando, did you see the separate email I sent?
I did, and that's another part that I want to go over with him. Just so
Yeah, Judge, this is one of those, given the nature of the offense, where the prosecution guide is just too large to attach. So I've emailed separately to Robert and Orlando to attach to the STIPs in addition to everything else.
All right. So Mr. Montoya, I've sent you to breakout room number 3. Orlando, you can move throughout the breakout room, so you can go to breakout room number 3.
Okay, Judge.
All right, you're welcome. All right, everyone, just give me one moment, please. Mr. Montoya, if you could go to breakout room number 3. You should see a breakout room at the bottom of your screen. Do you see that? All right, click on that and go to 3.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right. And Norman, do you know about Alfonso Cabanas on Mr. Matthew Cuellar?
I'm still trying to get a hold of him, Judge.
All right, thank you. And everyone, we're going to go on a short recess, but I'll be able to see your paperwork once it's done.
Hey, Rebecca, I'm gonna send you a chat. I need some help finding something.
Hey, Norma, are you there?
The jail just called Rebecca. They lost internet connection. They're connecting her
Oh,
back.
yeah, I was just making sure she didn't leave.
No, they lost internet connection.
Okay, but she'll come on this screen first, right?
Yes, they're logging her back in.
Okay, thank you.
Rebecca, did you need to see Miss Sutter again?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to send Miss Sutter, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1.
Yes, ma'am.
Was one of the clerks trying to step into the breakout room? I wasn't sure how to, if I did something wrong or not.
No, you haven't done anything wrong. The paperwork is still coming through on my end. And once the paperwork comes through, then the clerks will go to your breakout room and swear your client in.
Okay, I heard there was a ding and I saw something that said Sutter, 187 Sutter.
Oh, no, that's me sending another person to the other one. Okay, Orlando, you're just the co-host. All right, did you all finish signing all the paperwork?
We did the paperwork for the plea on the, I believe it was the murder case. Let me see, Norma is sent. No, that was for the MTR. I don't think we did one for the murder charge.
No, so I'm just waiting for that paperwork. Once you all sign it, then it'll come to me and then the clerks will go to that room and let you know
Okay,
what they're missed.
I just see it now. I'll sign it and go back and get him to do the same.
All right, thank you. Now, Orlando, as co-host, you can see everything that I see.
Yeah, I see a lot of stuff. I don't see my client.
Oh, he's in number 3. So
There
you can go back to number 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Meredith, did you get my email?
I did. I didn't realize that there wouldn't be one without that, but that works. Thank you.
Number on Cuellar, since this attorney is not here, let's recall this for Monday.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, who's the prosecutor on Montoya?
I can do the plea, Judge.
All right, thank you.
And Your Honor, were the clerks able to print out that additional report?
Let me check and see if it's in here. Yes, they printed out everything.
Okay, thank you.
All right, the court is calling 2020 CR 0249, State of Texas versus Gabriel Montoya. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state,
Meredith McIntyre for the state.
for the defense?
Orlando Gastanon for defense.
And are you Mr. Montoya?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
None from defense.
Mr. Montoya, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Defense, I'm going to show you two documents. Discovery acknowledgement dated August 13th, 2021, and also a discovery acknowledgement dated October 1st, 2021. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor. I did.
The court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Montoya, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Montoya, I'm going to show you what's entitled. Just 1 minute. I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what you're charged with is murder? The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Montoya, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. I'm going to show you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 37.5 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine, an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There are no applications for community supervision or deferred adjudication. And the court will note for the record that you're not eligible for deferred adjudication or community supervision for this charge. This is run concurrent with the MTR in cause number 2018 CR 8531, and the state will take in consideration county court cause number 627120. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Judge.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver Repeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions, that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Into the offense is charged in the indictment. How do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State any evidence to support the defendant's guilty plea.
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
Any objections?
No objections, Judge.
Mr. Montoya, I'm going to show you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney?
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
understand it? Did you
Yes, ma'am.
electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call on the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements, police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we would like for a chance to be reset for victim impact, please.
All right. When will they be available?
It could do next week, Judge. It just has to be just not today.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a date for next week? And Mr. Castillon, what day are you available next week?
Wednesday would appear to be the best day for me.
All right. Norma, are we able to do sentencing on Wednesday?
Yes, ma'am. That's fine.
All right. So we'll come back for sentencing on October 6th at 9 a.m. And if everyone's here at 9 a.m., I'll take this matter up first. Court is next going to call 2018 CR 8531, State of Texas versus Gabriel Montoya. Again, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objections from the defense?
No, Judge.
Mr. Montoya, I'm going to show you what's entitled Defense Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision, and First Amendment Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review those documents with your attorney? Did you understand them?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Gabriel Matthew Montoya who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2018 CR 8531 for the offense of burglary and habitation force on February 8th, 2019 for a period of 8 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
In Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Gabriel Matthew Montoya did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer for the months of September and October 2019 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State?
State waives the remaining violations.
Any objection?
No objections, Judge.
Mr. Montoya, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court would find it true, grant the motion, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Your Honor. We're asking this court to adjudicate his guilt, grant the motion, revoke his community supervision, sentence him to 20 years to run concurrent with 2020 CR 0249.
Is that the agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Montoya, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the court will follow your agreement.
Your Honor, also giving any credit for time served.
Yes. The court will sentence you to 20 years in the prison. This to run concurrent with 2020 CR 0249, giving credit for any time served. And there's to be no contact with Shanrika, SHANREKIA Johnson. Is there anything else from either side with regards to sentencing?
Nothing from defense.
Mr. Montoya, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because it is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, then, Mr. Montoya, we'll see you back on October 6th for your sentencing date in 2020 CR 0249.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if there's nothing else, we'll close the record. Did you need to speak with your client any further, Mr. Castellano?
Let me speak with him just briefly regarding sentencing.
All right, Mr. Montoya, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 8.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
your client will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And Mr. Montoya, you should see at the bottom of your screen the breakout rooms. Just click to go to the breakout room.
Yes, ma'am. It says room number 1.
Yes, that's where you want to go.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, everyone, we are actually done for today. We're going to stop live stream. I will see you. Bye, guys. I'll see you guys on Monday, and we will start on Monday at 9 a.m. Bye. Oh my gosh, there's Marcus. Okay. Brenda, this is so like, you know, the 70s show where you see everyone. So you guys still be safe out there. Wear your masks, socially distance. And I will stop light. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you have your mask.